Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever woken up one day and wondered, where did my dreams go? Maybe life got in the way. Maybe fear whispered lies into your ears. Or maybe you stopped believing they were possible. But here's the truth. Your dreams didn't die. They've just been waiting. For you. Today, I want to talk to you about a bold, simple idea. The 7-day plan to reclaim your dreams. In just 1 week, you can change your direction, rewire your mindset, and start chasing what truly sets your soul on fire. No matter your age, background, or past failures, this is your time. And it starts today. Let's break it down, day by day. Today is about going back, not to dwell, but to remember. To that moment in your life when your heart beat faster, just thinking about what could be. Before the responsibilities, before the rejections, before the world convinced you to be realistic. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Now ask yourself, what did I once believe was possible for me? Was it to start your own business? Write a book? Travel the world? Be an artist? A leader? A healer? A visionary? Whatever it was, that dream still lives inside you. It may be buried under years of dust, but it is not gone. It is dormant, not dead. And today, you begin to awaken it. Start by journaling. No filters, no judgment. Write down what you used to dream about. Even if it feels impossible now, write it anyway. Let your heart speak. Don't worry about the how right now. Focus on the what and the why. Can't write it? Paint it? Can't paint it? Say it out loud. Can't say it? Feel it. And let it move you. This is not about what the world says you should want. It's about rediscovering what you truly want. Not for approval, not for validation, but for your soul. Remember, your dream doesn't have to be grand in anyone else's eyes. It just has to be real to you, authentic, personal, deeply felt. Some of you may feel pain during this process. That's okay. Sometimes remembering what you lost is the first step to fighting for it again. You may hear the voice of doubt whispering, "You're too old. It's too late. You missed your chance." But I'm here to tell you, that voice is a lie. If you woke up this morning, your dream has a pulse, and today is the day you listen for its heartbeat. So, take this day to reconnect. Not just with your dream, but with the part of yourself that believed it was possible. That version of you is still in there. Bring them back. Now that you've reconnected with your dream, it's time to face what's been standing in the way. Because here's the truth. You don't just need motivation, you need liberation from the invisible forces that have been quietly, consistently holding you back. And those forces? They're not always external. Often, they're internal. They come disguised as logic, but they're rooted in fear. They wear the mask of busyness, but underneath is avoidance. They sound like the voice of reason, but in truth, it's the echo of doubt. So today, we do something courageous. We stop pretending everything is fine. We stop making excuses, and we start getting brutally honest. Ask yourself, what's been stopping me? Is it fear of failure, of judgment, of success? Is it self-doubt, the quiet belief that you're not good enough? Is it perfectionism, waiting until it's all just right before you start? Is it time? Or rather, how you manage and prioritize it? Is it comparison, watching others and believing you've already lost? Is it comfort, being afraid to leave what's safe for what's possible? Write down every obstacle you can think of. Big ones, small ones. Don't hold back. This is not the time for pride. This is the time for clarity. Because you can't conquer what you refuse to confront. And once those obstacles are on paper, you'll realize something powerful. They're not as big as they seemed in your mind. They were shadows, not monsters. They had power only because you never looked them in the eye. And sometimes, the biggest obstacle isn't the world around you. It's the voice within you. The voice that says, "I don't deserve this. It's too late. What if I try and fail?" To that voice, you must respond with truth. You do deserve it. It's not too late. You've already failed by not trying. So what's the worst that can happen now? Understand this. You are not weak for having obstacles. You are strong for naming them, because what you name, you can now begin to tame. And here's the most powerful part. Every obstacle you've faced is the very thing that will shape your story. Your pain will become your power. Your struggle will become someone else's survival guide. So today, dig deep. Don't just glance at the surface. Look into the dark corners of your past, your habits, your thoughts, and bring those obstacles into the light. Because when you bring truth into the light, fear loses its grip. You've remembered your dream. You've faced your fears and named your obstacles. Now, it's time to see it. Not in vague hopes or wishful thinking, but in bold, vivid clarity. Because dreams without vision are like seeds without sunlight. They stay buried, waiting. But when you begin to truly see your dream, everything starts to shift. Today is the day you turn your dream into a living, breathing vision. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine waking up in a life that excites you. Where are you? What does your morning look like? What work are you doing? What kind of people are around you? How do you feel? Energized, at peace, inspired? This is not fantasy. This is design. Intentional, detailed, and personal. So get specific. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Say, I want to run a creative agency that helps small businesses grow, working 4 days a week, spending weekends with my family in the mountains. Don't just say, I want freedom. Say, I want the freedom to travel, to work remotely, to wake up when my body says it's ready, and to choose work that aligns with my values. This is your blueprint. Take out a notebook or open a document and map it out. Where do you live? A city? A quiet village? A beachfront studio? What does your workspace look like? A corner office? A sunlit home studio? A cafe in Lisbon? What are you wearing each day? A suit? Sneakers and jeans? A lab coat? Pajamas? Who do you spend your time with? Who do you serve? Who do you inspire? What legacy are you building? Use images if you want. Create a vision board. Speak it aloud. Write it in the present tense. I am living a life of purpose. I wake up every day excited to build, to give, to grow. The clearer your vision, the stronger your direction. And here's why it matters. When the road gets hard, and it will, your mind will try to convince you to quit. But when you have a crystal clear image of where you're going, you won't stop, because it's no longer a wish, it's a destination. Without vision, your dream is a ghost, always out of reach. With vision, it becomes a target, a compass, a reason. And don't let anyone tell you it's too specific or too idealistic. This is your life, your dream, your design. Others may settle for default, but you're choosing to design your destiny on purpose. So take your time today. Let your imagination stretch beyond limits. Let it paint in color, not just black and white. You are the architect of what comes next. Design boldly. You've reconnected with your dream. You've faced down your fears. You've seen your future in vivid color. Now it's time to move. Because vision without action is just a beautiful lie. A dream without steps is a fantasy. And you are not made to live in illusion. You are made to build step by step, breath by breath, even when it's hard. So today's focus is this: progress, not perfection. We don't need to climb the mountain all at once. We just need to take the next right step. That's where a micro-action plan comes in. This is your roadmap, not made of giant leaps, but of small, consistent, intentional moves that lead you forward. Let's begin by asking, what's one tiny action you can take today that aligns with your dream? If your dream is to write a book, could you write 200 words today? If your dream is to start a business, could you research your market for 30 minutes? If your dream is to become healthy, Could you go for a 15-minute walk and drink more water? If your dream is to create music, could you write a chorus or play for 10 minutes? These actions may seem insignificant, but they are anything but. Because consistent micro-actions create unstoppable momentum. They rewire your brain, replacing old habits with new discipline. They turn overwhelm into direction. And they teach your subconscious mind a powerful truth. You are doing this. You are becoming. So break your big dream into bite-sized moves. 1. List the major milestones you'll need to reach your dream. 2. For each milestone, break it down into weekly actions. 3. Then break those weekly actions into daily tasks. And here's the key. Make these daily tasks non-negotiable. Treat them like promises you won't break. Not because they're massive, but because they're aligned with who you want to become. You don't need 8 hours a day. You need 20 minutes of laser-focused intention. And if you miss a day, you don't quit. You course correct. Because progress isn't linear. It's built in the rebound, the reset, the resilience. So don't wait until the conditions are perfect. Start where you are, with what you have, from the ground you're standing on. Because every great achievement began the same way, with one small step, done on purpose, repeated over time. And don't underestimate the compounding power of micro-actions. What you do consistently will eventually outweigh what you do intensely for a moment. Your dream is not built in a day. It's built daily. So today, take action, even if it's just one small move. Because small moves, stacked over time, build unstoppable momentum. One step at a time. One decision at a time. One moment of courage at a time. You've dreamed. You've faced your fears. You've built a vision and started to act. Now it's time to protect the path, because what you're building is fragile. Not weak, but still in its early stages, still vulnerable to one of the greatest threats to any dream: distraction. In today's world, noise is everywhere. It comes in the form of endless scrolling. It comes in the form of too many opinions, too many commitments, too much digital clutter. And worst of all, it comes disguised as urgency, but it steals your clarity. Here's the hard truth. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they're distracted. They confuse movement with progress. They stay busy, but they don't move forward. So day 5 is about drawing a line in the sand and saying, I will no longer let the noise control my life. Start with this question. What is draining my focus, my energy, my time? Look at your habits. Really look. Are you reaching for your phone first thing in the morning? Flooding your brain with notifications before you even speak a word? Are you saying yes to things you don't even want to do, just to avoid guilt or discomfort? Are you checking email 25 times a day, reacting instead of creating? Are you listening to too many voices, friends, influencers, doubters, who don't know your purpose? Write it all down. Name the noise. You can't eliminate what you haven't identified, then begin to cut ruthlessly. Start simple. Turn off notifications. Schedule phone-free hours. Unfollow people who make you doubt your path. Say no, clearly, unapologetically, to things that don't serve your mission. Reclaim your calendar. Reclaim your mornings. Reclaim your evenings. Protect your peace like your dream depends on it. Because it does. You have a limited amount of mental bandwidth every day. Every yes you give to something meaningless is a no to something that matters. Noise isn't always loud. Sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it sounds like the voice of someone you love telling you to be realistic. Sometimes it looks like a job that pays the bills but kills your spirit. And sometimes, the worst noise of all, it comes from inside your own head. I don't have time. I'm too tired. It won't make a difference. That's not your truth. That's your distraction dressed as doubt. So today, take back your attention, because whatever owns your attention owns your future. Eliminate the noise. Not later. Now, create space. create silence. Because in the quiet, that's where your dream finds room to breathe. That's where your deepest clarity rises. You don't need more time. You need fewer distractions. You've done the inner work. You've awakened the dream. You've created vision, momentum, and cleared space. Now it's time to protect your fire by surrounding yourself with more fire. Because no matter how strong you are, no matter how clear your plan is, you were never meant to do this alone. The truth is, dreams die in isolation. They suffocate in rooms full of small talk and low energy. They shrink when surrounded by people who don't believe in growth, who don't challenge you, who only know the language of limitation. So on day 6, you make a new decision. I will surround myself with energy that fuels me. I will stop spending time with people who dim my light just because they're afraid to shine. This doesn't mean you stop loving people in your life. It means you start choosing influence more intentionally. Ask yourself, who in my life pushes me to grow, even when it's uncomfortable? Who believes in me, not for who I am now, but for who I could become? Who challenges my excuses instead of comforting them? Who is living proof that something greater is possible? Those are the people you need. Seek them. Pursue them. Even if it means stepping into new rooms, new communities, new circles where you feel like the smallest person in the room, go. Because that's where growth lives. Let me be clear. Comfortable environments rarely create extraordinary people. You want to be around those who make you slightly nervous, because they're playing the game at a higher level. Start small. Join a mastermind or group centered around your dream. Read the books that stir your spirit and stretch your thinking. Listen to podcasts that speak life, discipline, and vision into your days. Follow creators, leaders, and visionaries who live in alignment with what you're building. Your environment is either accelerating your progress or it's draining your potential. And don't forget this, you don't just need encouragement. You need accountability. People who will ask you, did you take the step today? Are you still aligned with your purpose? Are you living the life you promised yourself? And just as important, be that fire for someone else. The more you uplift others, the more your own flame grows. Support, challenge, inspire, repeat. Because iron sharpens iron. And when fire meets fire, something incredible happens. The light spreads. You are becoming a force. But even a flame needs oxygen. And your oxygen is found in the people, content, and energy you allow into your life. Choose wisely. Because who surrounds you shapes you. You've come this far. You've dreamed. You've faced the dark. You've drawn your vision. You've moved with intention. You've silenced the noise. You've gathered fire around you. But there's one more step, and it is the most sacred. Commitment. Not half-hearted. Not maybe. Not if it works out. Full body, no turning back commitment. Because the truth is, most people never actually cross the threshold. They tiptoe around it. They flirt with the idea of a better life, but never burn the bridge behind them. But today, you do. You declare to the world and to your own soul, this is who I am now. This is what I am building, and I will not turn back. This is your launch day. And here's the part that separates the dreamers from the builders. You don't keep this decision silent. You speak it out loud. You write it down. You tell someone. Why? Because silence gives fear room to whisper, but declaration gives courage space to rise. This is not just about motivation. This is identity shift. You are no longer the person who wants the dream. You are the person who is living into it. So ask yourself today, what am I truly committing to? Not for a moment, but for the long haul. What part of the old me do I need to leave behind? What version of me must rise now, even if the world doesn't yet recognize them? This is where you burn the backup plan. This is where you stop asking for permission. This is where you stop explaining your dream to people who were never meant to understand it. You stop dipping your toe in the water. You jump. And yes, it will be terrifying. Yes, your knees may shake. But nothing compares to the freedom of knowing you've finally decided, not just to try, not just to talk, but to commit. With your time, with your energy, with your whole heart. And as you commit, you declare. You speak these words into existence. I am ready. I am willing. I am becoming. This dream is not just a hope. It is a mission. I may fall. I may struggle. But I will rise again. Today, I move forward with no retreat. Because dreams don't belong in journals. They belong in the arena, tested, tried, alive. And you are ready to enter the arena.